Cleaning Moldy Monster High Doll Collection. Can mold on Monster High dolls be removed? The answer to that question is what I'm hoping to find out because I just opened this box of dolls from my storage and the sight of mold and the smell of it is impossible to ignore. I'm going to go ahead and throw this away because I don't think it can be salvaged. I am hoping that the dolls will be salvageable with a little cleaning vinegar, hot water, and the sun, as well as a toothbrush and laundry detergent to do some fine-tuned cleaning. Disclaimer: I have no expertise in mold removal or doll cleaning, so I make no guarantees as to the efficacy or safety of methods demonstrated in this video. They may not work, and worse, they might even have detrimental effects, so use caution if applying these techniques on your own dolls. Spoiler alert, I did have some detrimental effects. Can you guess which ones? Before I get started cleaning the dolls, I want to take a look at each one of the dolls individually so I can compare that with the results at the end. Home Ick Frankenstein had visible mold on her outfit, her hands, and some on her face. Home Ick Abby Abominable had visible mold all over her body, but the most concerning mold I could see was on her lips and in her bangs. Music Festival Abby Abominable had visible mold on her skirt, as well as on her arms and hands. Ghouls Rule Abby was in really bad shape. She had mold all over. It was in her hair, it's on her clothes, it's on her body. It's actually kind of gross. Ghouls Rule Abby had it pretty bad. Viperine Gorgon Lundoom had mold all over, generally, and her boots, her face, and some on her snakes. Lundoom Elizabeth had visible mold on her hands, on her dress, and on her boots. Catty Noir Lundoom, she had mold terribly bad on her boots, especially. 13 Wishes Catty Noir looked like be in really good shape, surprisingly, but she's gonna get washed anyways because she was in with the rest. Dot Dead Gorgeous Laguna Blue didn't have too much visible mold on her body, but there was some on her face. Skull Shores Laguna had light mold all over. It looked like some discoloring in her legs as well, and mostly I saw mold on her arms. Monster Shanzalunuboo had visible mold on her face, as well as the same discoloring in her legs. Fright's Camera Action Honey Swamp had visible mold in her hair, her face, and her body, as well as her outfit seemed to be badly affected. Venus McFlytrap Music Festival, she had a lot of mold visible on her whole body and her face, arms, and ears. Picture Day Cleo Denial had light mold all over, as well as a lot on her hands and arms. Skelita Calaveras has mold generally all over, just all over. Without further ado, let's start the Monster High doll cleaning process. Day 1. I took all the clothes off the dolls and then I placed them in a tub with hot water and vinegar. And I did the same for the doll clothes, and this time I added a little bit of laundry soap. And then I placed both tubs in direct sunlight outside and I left the tubs overnight. Day 2. I poured out the old water from the doll's tub and then I rinsed the dolls off with hot water, and then I refilled their tub with hot water and vinegar again to soak. And I used the vinegar liberally. I didn't measure it, I just poured a whole bunch in there. And then I did the same with the clothing and accessories tub. I poured out all the old water from the day before. Note the water has a purple tint. This tint foreshadows disaster, but we don't know that yet. I separated the shoes and accessories from the clothes and put them both in their own tubs, and then I filled both tubs with hot water, vinegar, and a laundry detergent mix. And as before, I placed the tubs outside in direct sunlight and left them out there all day and overnight. Day 3. I again poured out the water from the day before and then rinsed the dolls with hot water. And then came the tedious part, is when I hand washed each doll with a toothbrush and some soap. I rinsed all the clothing and accessory items. Once again, I brought all 3 tubs outside to get some sunlight and left them there overnight. I positioned the dolls haphazardly and periodically rearranged them to ensure everything gets exposure to air and sunlight. Day 4. I brought all 3 tubs back inside to begin dressing and styling the now fully dry and clean dolls. And that is when I noticed that Houston, we have a problem. Ghouls Rule Abby Abominable's dress did not turn out well. I was going to just deal with it, but then I noticed that Caddy Noir's dress from 13 Wishes also had some problems. The silver completely came off the top of her dress, and it looks like the bottom part might have even melted in the hot water. And remember that purple tinted water that I said foreshadowed disaster? Well, I think that purple tint came from Caddy Noir's Lundum dress. Fortunately, I was able to find and purchase replacements for all 3 dresses on eBay. With shipping, they cost approximately $40 USD. Upon the arrival of the replacement dresses, I can finish preparing the dolls for the big reveal. Let's recap by looking at the dolls before and after. Homic Frankenstein came out really nice. The mold came off her body really well, but there was one stubborn smudge on her chest area of her top. Homic Abby Abominable came out really nice, but she wasn't very badly affected to begin with. I love the way that Music Festival Abby Abominable turned out. She looks really, really nice, if you asked my opinion. Ghouls Rule Abby came out really nice, but then again I did have to buy her an entirely new dress. Viperine Gorgon came out nice, but if I'm being honest, I think that her outfit may have faded a little bit too in the hot water. Elizabeth came out really nice as well. Her boots required a little bit of scrubbing to get them back to normal, but she turned out just fine. Caddy Noir came out nice now that she has a new dress. One boot is a little bit dingier than the other. I'm gonna have to work on that some more. And yet again, with a new dress, Caddy Noir looks perfect. Other than the dress, I had no problems cleaning this doll. Laguna Blue Dead Gorgeous came out excellent, but she was also one that was only lightly affected to begin with. Skull Shores also turned out lovely. No issues cleaning her whatsoever. Laguna Blue Monster Exchange also turned out quite nice. Though all my Lagunas are missing their leg fins, but, you know, who's counting? Fright's Camera Action Honey Swamp turned out excellent. Had no issues cleaning her, and her hair even was able to withstand the high temperature and stay curly. Venus McFlytrap also made a wonderful recovery. Her hair is super soft. I love it. Cleo Denial also cleaned up really nicely and had no issues cleaning her. I do have to say, I don't really care for tinsel hair on dolls. It never ever really works out. Scalita Calaveras also cleaned up really nicely, and I had no problems cleaning her at all. Final thoughts. I'd like to answer the age-old question that I asked at the start of this video. Can mold on Monster High dolls be removed? Yes, mold can usually be removed from Monster High dolls by gently cleansing with a mild soap and water. Just make sure that the dolls are completely dry after washing them and keep them in a dry environment.
Don't forget to bring a towel!
If soap and water is not effective, gently washing with equal parts water and white vinegar mixed using a soft bristle brush might work. Again, make sure that the dolls and everything washed is thoroughly dry afterwards and keep them in a moisture-free environment.
Be sure to bring a towel so you don't get all wet.
Whenever possible, dry items in the sun. The sun can dry items thoroughly, eradicate mold, and can also reduce the appearance of some stains. I do have one special note of caution. As I discovered cleaning the dolls in this video, some Monster High doll clothing is not color fast, meaning that washing the item could cause the dye in it to run, which would then ruin the item and also potentially ruin other items being washed with it. In light of this revelation, in the future, I will only be washing Monster High doll clothing in cold to lukewarm water, and never hot. Many Monster High doll clothing items can withstand hot water, but there are a few that don't, so for me, it's just not worth taking the risk. I will only be washing the items in cold to lukewarm water at most. That's about it for this video. Thanks for watching and making it this far. If you have any tips or tricks for mold removal on Monster High dolls, or have any experience in cleaning mold from Monster High dolls, please share your experience with a comment. And if you don't have any experience or tips and tricks, please feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Best of luck to everyone in their efforts in cleaning mold from Monster High dolls. Have a good one.